Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness Meets Entertainment in Color. I'm your host here, Chantel Francis, with my co-host Tamika Francis to talk about episode 26 of Love Island USA Season 4, episode 26. How are you doing, Tamika? And what are your overall thoughts of this episode?
Oh, I cried.
Did I cry? Where did you cry? When did you cry?
At the end.
I don't know. Did I cry? No, I don't think I cried.
I cried.
Whoa. Okay, let's get to there. That's fun to know that this episode brought out some emotions within you. That is awesome. But we have some friends joining us. Charlene is here. Hello, Charlene. Hi, Tasha. Hi, Jessica. So at the beginning of this episode, we see Sydney in her ITM really hoping that it was killing Isaiah, the fact that she almost went home. And I agree with her. I hope it was just killing him because it was just such a dumb move. And he didn't even utilize it in any sort of way. He got one kiss with Phoebe, brought her back, drama. Phoebe doesn't want to be with him anymore. Sydney might go home. He got absolutely nothing out of whatever he was trying to do.
Yeah, it was a dumb move. Again, 70-30, Isaiah. 70-30? Oh, that's a 70-30.
Somebody needs to teach him about percentages and
Yeah.
when to make moves on things,
Yeah.
So we learned a little bit more about Joel. He's 28 years old. He is a welder. He is ready to find love and his forever woman. And when he's meeting everybody, he's sitting around, and like usual, when there's a new person, they ask him a bunch of questions. Well, Zeta asks a bunch of questions, and we learned that he has a house, but he wants to save up to be able to purchase a gym and have his own gym. So he does have some aspirations, and he's looking for, his type on paper is fun, size, and fit. So what are your first overall thoughts of Joel?
So by the time this episode aired, they had already put out spoiler alert, that Mackenzie was heading to the villa from season 2, Las Vegas. So I wasn't looking for him to be meeting none of these people. I knew Isaiah and Sydney would get back together. As I said, I think I said that Kat and Jared were gonna stick together. I knew that Phoebe would take a shot, but she's batting 0 of 10 about right now. And so, yeah, Joel, I think seems like a catch on paper. I just don't think his woman was in the villa currently.
Well, I think his woman was in the villa at the beginning of this episode. So Bella thinks that Joel is chef's kiss, and Phoebe, of course, is also interested in Joel.
Mm-hmm.
And Kat is also slightly interested in Joel. So it seems like everybody has some interest in this new guy. Now, Joel, I think he's a handsome man. Absolutely. He's obviously has a great body. He would have been better in Casa Amor.
We had no older guys. I mean, just Chad, right? Chad was the oldest, which was 26. We didn't have any
Is even
older.
20? Is Chad even 26?
I think so.
I feel like Chad is younger. Hold on, let's see if I can look it up. Go ahead. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, so we had barely any older guys in the villa. A waste.
But Chad is 23, babe.
Oh, so who was 26? So then somebody else.
Oh, I think it was maybe Nick
or Trey.
Maybe Trey. Trey could be. Hold on, Trey. Not Trey Forte. The other. What's it? Do you know what the other Trey's name is?
Trey Watson, football player.
He's 26. Yeah, so it was him.
Okay, so it's Trey. So that's what I'm saying. I think he was the age max, and it was why when half the girls are older and the other half are not.
Yeah, the Casa Amor girls were all young, but the Villa girls were, I think they would be fine with older men.
Right.
To
Right.
be clear here. Hi, CJ. CJ's also here, and Dira. Hello, everyone. So, yeah, Joel is like, I think he would have been a great person to be in Casa More. He would have just brought a little bit more maturity. I just think that he would have been a great, great, great addition. And
Especially since we lost Bryce, right? Right before. And like I thought Bryce was so nice and mature. Uh, a
Bryce
waste.
would have been great. It would have been like, imagine how much better Casa More would have been
Mm-hmm.
on the ladies' side if
Mm-hmm.
like Bryce was still there.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that would mean Chaz would have gone home, so maybe Bryce
Mm-hmm.
would have actually made a connection with somebody. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah. I
Chaz
can
doesn't know
see
what he's doing.
him making a connection with a lot of the girls.
Like he's attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Like he seems to have his shit together. We still don't really understand what happened with him and Courtney. So
Oh,
you do, you
I,
know?
I said that all.
Oh, at all. I thought you said,
Because
oh, I know.
even he on the the podcast after the show with Matthew Hoffman was like he didn't get it, but obviously there was something, so he's done with Courtney. But he was like he did not see what the issue was. He was still into her.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just Courtney being Courtney, just pushing away things that when they get too intimate, you know? That's what it seems like. But anyways, so the girls and the guys all split off, and other girls are asking, or one of the girls asked, I don't know who it was, who thinks Joel is beautiful? And Sydney, Bella, Courtney, and Deb all raised their hands. With the boys, and we see that Isaiah is saying Phoebe's free. I thought that was funny. Phoebe's free. Phoebe's free.
He,
Phoebe's
he
free.
not even that, he was like Sydney's not free.
Yeah, Sydney's
Just
mine. Yeah.
Sydney's mine, but Phoebe's free. He just had to make it clear. Yes, she was standing there, but she's not for the taking. The girl who was sitting next to me,
She's free.
I don't want her.
So bad. It's so funny though. I thought it was funny. I was like, I mean, at least he's being clear.
I think he realized I gotta be clear now. And also Phoebe basically made it so that he can't stand her. It feels like so. Yeah.
Okay, so Realnesss says, I like Joel, but it's questionable he's on a show like Love Island to be looking for a wife. I mean, if we where's a normal place anymore, right? Like at one point we're like, oh, you shouldn't be able to look for love on like online and like dating apps, but like people's found connections in so many different places. So I don't think that it's impossible. Justine, for instance, went on Love Island looking for love. You know, it's an opportunity to meet a whole bunch of people that are supposedly there for love. And so I think you have a high percentage chance of at least getting into a world where there's a lot of people that you could potentially date. Like
Yeah.
how many singles are going to be, there's going to be like probably 20 women that he could potentially meet from this season afterwards. So I think that it's okay that like he's taking this as an opportunity to maybe meet his wife.
Listen, I think what people don't understand is the Love Island UK has a good track record. Love Island US does not. And even with the UK, when did they start having more success?
No, season 2. They're still together.
Yeah.
From the
So
beginning.
it wasn't even the first season. Like it takes
Well, the first season they were together for like a long time, a couple of couples, but they did break up in the end.
Yeah. So I think what people are not understand is Love Island has a base that it could work in the right setting. You don't know if this is the season where you could find your wife, you can find your husband. This could be the season that could work. I mean, because I believe it's possible that Timmy and Zeta are going to stay together for a while.
If it happens, I wouldn't be surprised. Like they both were surprised by the connection that they have with each other. Yeah. And so I also believe in fate and synchronicity. And so if this is how you're supposed to meet your forever person, like then it could happen. So I think that he's saying yes to opportunity, and he's seeing like, hey, like maybe this is where I'm going to meet my person, or maybe this is where what it's going to lead me to meet my person. And this is what's happening in like our day and age. Like when we were younger, they had like, not the newlywed game, but they had all different kind of dating game shows, and this is just a new type of dating game show that exists in our lifetime.
Right.
So I'm fine with him being on this show for whatever reason. If he wants to be on here to win money, if he wants to be on here to meet his wife, like I'm fine with it. It's an opportunity, and I would say yes to almost every opportunity that came my way. So he probably did too. So what happened next? Then we see Chaz and Bella, and he tells Bella that he wants to get to know Phoebe. Like, what? And so she's like being pretty easygoing, saying like, just let me know if there's like a shift in feelings, and like just keep me clued into how things are going. But I'm like, why is he going to? I mean, it's because he's young, but like Phoebe at this point, she's so transparent. Like, I mean, I guess maybe you can't tell, but it's like
Mm-mm.
you
So he said on the podcast today that Phoebe was actually his best friend in Casa.
okay.
So I think that's where it came from. He said he actually hung out with her a lot. And then it kind of does make sense if him and Bella were together and she's also her best friend and she's his best friend.
Okay.
Makes sense. But Phoebe also does not have any boundaries because he's with your girl. You don't give a fuck at this point.
Yeah, and it's like she thinks that being a girl's girl is just letting her know in advance or right after that she's about to go for her guy. Like, no, girl's girl would mean that he's off limits
He's off limits.
regardless.
Right.
Regardless of the feelings that you might have, the
The
interest,
attraction, whatever you think is possible,
off limits.
off limits.
But she doesn't have that. She doesn't know what a girl's girl is, it seems. Okay, Jessica wants to know, this is a random note, but have you noticed that Chaz always has his shirt unbuttoned all the way? This guy is the definition of a tryhard. I haven't specifically noticed. Have you?
No, because I don't look at Chaz because he's gross.
I don't really look at Chaz either. I'm just kind of like, let's get off this.
When he's on the screen, I'm usually not paying attention. I just hear him talk. I don't pay attention to what he does.
Kind of in the
He
same.
should have been gone weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, I would
I would have rathered his sister stay. That's how bad.
We know. Yeah, I think it's for everybody. Everybody feels that way about him. So Joel pulls Nadja for a chat, and Nadja must be, and as I've said before, I do think that she's still a beautiful woman, but it's not translating for me on camera. And so I'm wondering if she's really, really like gorgeous in real life. I know some people don't like look better in person than they do on camera, and I'm wondering if that's what Nadja is like, because like she's beautiful, of course, but like the fact that Joel just like he really wanted to get to know her, and like he was just like, really, unless it's because he didn't feel like her and Jeff were that strong, and so maybe he thought it was.
It's probably LIFO last one. First one she's definitely movable in my opinion.
Right, but she does say to him and makes it pretty clear that her and Jeff are in a good place, but she's willing to get to know him a little bit, but her and Jeff are in a good place. So, I mean, she's going to stick with Jeff because she knows Jeff is popular. We know that for a fact. And also for how this episode goes, we know for a fact that she's not going anywhere. She's going to stick with Jeff till the end.
Yeah.
Phoebe and Chaz talk, and what are you feeling, and be honest, and they just want to be respectful to Bella, and like then they start like making out, and like I can't watch like a makeout with two 21-year-olds like with like the ass grabs and stuff like that. I'm not even a prude, but they're just too young for me, and maybe I shouldn't be watching the show anymore because like it just makes me uncomfortable that they're half my age and like they're just being so sexual, but they were still a teenager just a couple years ago,
Yeah, I think it's a little hard for me. I wish it was me watching like 25, 26-year-olds. I don't need them to be 30. This
Just a little bit older.
21-year-old is like My child is 20.
I know my sister is 22.
Yeah. It's
And
not.
like she's like that's another thing too. Like she's kind of like a young 22 in the sense that like I mean, I'm sure she's gone out and party and she goes on vacation and like goes to like, New York with her friends and like I'm sure that they're drinking and stuff like that. But like I do not think of her like in these sexual like situations like
Yeah.
these other 21-year-olds on this show.
That,
And
that's my thing too. Like I don't think of a 21-year-old in these sexual. And that's not to say that 21 don't have sex. I just don't. I'm not thinking about them in that position.
yeah, like I totally agree with you. And I think it's probably because we have someone close to us that's like a direct reference of that age. And I'm just like, oh, it's just a little bit uncomfortable for me. Like they could be like my daughter, literally. And it's just like, can you just be a little bit older? Just a little bit older. So you don't seem like a baby. Seem like a little baby.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Isaiah and Sydney. What happened with them? I didn't write down anything. Did she say anything of interest?
Uh, she she was kind of cursing him out for like I could have went home. Duh, duh. She and then she said in her ITM she just she gonna make him work a little bit because
Good.
that like was so wrong. So
I think she needs to make him work a little bit harder. Kanisha, hi Kanisha, says I can't believe Sydney's going back to Isaiah so easily. LOL. I don't trust him as far as I can throw up. Listen, I mean, she's also really young, so she probably feels something strong for him. I can imagine so. They're in this experience together where it is quite life changing with people that are having like they're going to be no matter what they're going to be connected forever as a story that they tell for the rest of their life. So I can understand her not wanting to give up on that connection. In the real world, she's even said it. She wouldn't allow this to happen. But seeing him,
I said I'm not so sure about that about
she
the real
says,
world.
she says,
Yeah,
anyway, I'm just going by what she says.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like, in the villa where you have to see them over and over again, and you're also trying to stay in the villa, like, who's she going to go and jump to? Right? It's a show about making connections and getting in couples. So she can't really play that hard to get, right? If she plays any harder to get, she'll be dumped, which she almost was. So I don't know. Like if she wants to stay in the villa and how you stay in the villa is by being in a couple, it makes sense to me why she's going to be going back to him.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of women go back older
Oh, of
than her.
course.
So
I mean, he didn't even do that like that bad, and people
yeah,
go back to people of doing a lot
yeah.
worse than Isaiah does by like kissing some girl in bed. Like, definitely a lot worse. So Phoebe pulls Bella over for a chat to tell her about the fact that she just kissed Chaz, and then Chaz shows up and he's like, "Oh, I was about to tell you." And I'm just like, Phoebe sucks.
She does.
She
She does.
sucks. She
She does. But you know what? There's going to be some women who like, oh, see, this is what you, because there are a lot of people who are like, oh, like it's fine if she kisses him as long as she tells her friend. No, her friend is not the one in the relationship. She is, and him. So he should have been the one to tell her.
yeah, definitely. And she was just trying to like one up that, and I don't know, she's just like she just goes and interferes and thinks it's in the name of Love Island, and I just don't think that girl code and friend code she honors any of it, so
He has
it's
no code.
unlikable. No code.
We'll
Phoebe
see.
code.
We'll see when she gets through law school. But
Maybe.
I have a feeling she's going to be one of those lawyers. So,
Oh, what do you mean? Like what
like,
kind of lawyer?
dirty ones.
Oh,
She has no code. This is how you are at what, 22?
but she also has 21, but she also hasn't learned a lot yet. So after she goes through school, like it's reading like how many cases is she's gonna read and like getting so many perspectives in like 8 years, I think that she will gain a code.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. Let's hope, because there might be some other people in law school that like might like overstep her boundaries by like getting some different jobs and stuff like that. So we'll see. She definitely will learn eventually. I hope, but man, she sucks as a friend right now in this villa. So Bella does decide to go and pull Joel. I loved that Bella was like, "So what's your sign?" I was like, "Thank you. Thank you, Bella. Thank you. Oh, you're a Taurus, Joel. Thank you. It's good to know that." And she's like, "Oh, I'm a Cancer. We get along really well." I'm like, "Yes, that's very true, Bella. That's very true. That's very true." So
It's like, if more people just did this for us, or Love Island, bio, Cancer. That's all we need. Like 23, Cancer. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for too much. I'm not
as for
asking
the
for
rising
rising
in
or moon. All I'm
fine.
asking is for the
I don't
sign.
even need their birth date. Just their sign.
Just their sign.
You can actually, if they give me their age, I can still get their moon and then and all their other like signs, but I can't get their houses unless I know their time. But
Right.
but like just their sign is enough. Not greedy. On Big Brother Canada season 10, the most recent season, they had everybody's births, like their astrological signs in their bios. And I was like, "You're so kind. Thank you. Thank you." I mean, to learn, there was 7 year Virgos. There was 7 Virgos, though. I was like,
Whoa. That's a lot.
and not one.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Not one. And so, yeah, I loved the fact that they were talking about this and they did make a good connection. And I thought it was also really interesting because later on in the episode, Bella was saying that she does have some feelings for Chaz, surprisingly, but it would make sense because they're both Cancers. They both would more likely feel something for each other. And that's also what I find is interesting is that Phoebe is going for all these people that are not necessarily astrologically in alignment with her. And so that could also be one of the reasons why they're not working out so well.
I just think it's because she has no, like,
well, that too. But
yeah, because if she did, she'd be like, oh, that person's really, she has no discernment. Like, oh, that person would be better for me. That's not what she's, I need a man. Which one? Which one of y'all? You're with her? I don't care. I'll just take it.
I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna get, it's like she's not waiting for connections to happen. And that's another thing too, that maybe it's her just lack of experience in relationships, but like I don't know how she expects them to progress to the next level, right? Like, so she seemed to not be giving any credence to Sydney and Isaiah, the fact that they had 3 weeks together and that they have built something, some sort of connection, some sort of relationship.
Right.
And she doesn't seem to build any sort of relationship. She just goes straight to kissing them. And then I don't know what she's even expecting. I mean, what do you expect?
I don't know. It's like, not to find somebody, because at this point that ain't not happening.
So Kat is going to sleep on the day bed with Jared again. And I was like, that's cute. And as we said yesterday, that Kat and Jared, they have signs that work well together. She's Aquarius. He is Sagittarius. Those signs are really good matches. It just makes things easy. It's just an easy match, exactly, effortless. And so that's kind of why we're always coming back to these signs, because like they can all work, but some are effortless, right? Some are easy.
Yeah.
Some you just get the banter. Some you just get the vibe.
Yeah.
And have we noticed yet that the signs that work well together, they actually work well together? Like,
this is the thing. I always tell people, I said, this is the thing, because they were like, oh, you really believe that bullshit? And I'm like, the reason why I believe it is because I've sat in rooms with people and I've watched them either, like, the personality rings true to what I read their sign as, or like their husbands and them, I see why it really, really works or really, really doesn't. Like, like
100%.
I've seen it in real life. So that's the only reason why I attribute to it.
Absolutely. Like, for instance, I have a friend of mine and she's a Libra, and she's getting a divorce with her husband who's a Cancer. And I was just talking with her and being like, she was just kind of like, oh, I don't know what went wrong. Like, can you help me understand this? Kind of, just go through it. And I was like, well, and I just kind of gave some ways of communication that she does. Like, she doesn't cry, she doesn't get emotional. She likes talking things through and nipping things in the bud, but she doesn't necessarily want to cry about anything. Like, I've seen her cry like twice in my life. Right. And he's emotional and Cancer. And so I started talking about like how he's probably want to communicate with her and what he probably was doing. She's like, oh my God, I feel like you have been inside of our relationship for the last 20 years and you have no idea. Like, and I basically was able to pinpoint what wasn't working in their relationship.
Right.
Without knowing their relationship when it's been bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just go by repetition of things that keep on occurring, right?
Yep.
Exactly. So what was I going to say? Kanisha thought that she was the only one that noticed how often Chaz has his shirt unbuttoned. Yeah, he's too cringe for me to be looking at him that much. I was going to say, Jessica, are you into him? Jessica, wait, is she a Taurus? No, the other Jess is a Taurus for sure.
Brandy's a Taurus.
She might be a Gemini.
I wish that's Aquarius. Jessica, what are you again? I don't know.
I wish that's another thing. It's just like, just give me like the little, you don't even have to say the name. Just like the little emotion. You know, just make things so much easier.
That's hilarious.
Just the little waves, the little 6'9", or the little bull, like just whatever. Al Francisco, hello Al. Hello ladies. Yeah, Chaz messed up with that Phoebe situation. After he said Bella is who he liked, Bella moved on to Joel, which was great. And so yeah, that's what I was saying though, that like Bella and Chaz did make some sense. And so we do find out later on this episode that he's actually more interested in Bella, and it's because they probably did vibe, and then Phoebe came in with all of her like aggressive sexual energy and just wanted to like make out with him, but he didn't feel anything for her. And like I feel bad for Phoebe.
I mean, one kiss too. That like, so imagine he said that they were best friends since Casa Amor, and then they kissed one time and he was over it. Wow. Nothing there. That means there's nothing there. The problem for him is I think it was karma for Serenity. B, timing. He fucked up his timing.
Yeah, well, I mean, he doesn't really know how to handle all of this.
No.
So Kanisha says the way that these men switch up on wanting to get to know one woman, then changing their kind so quickly. I don't believe any of them except for Timmy. He's the only one that had a natural progression. I agree. He had a natural progression, and it was just normal. Like even like how he got to know Bria, like we didn't like it. Zeta didn't like it, but like it wasn't bad what he did. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like she came in, coupled with him, they got to know each other, then they got back together. Like it was just a little bit more normal, I would say, or adult.
Pretty much.
It's probably because he is an adult.
Yeah.
So Zeta wonders what Chaz is going to do over the next couple of days, which I thought was funny that they're worried about Chaz. Like, what's Chaz going to do over these next few days?
You would think that they had wrote him off as a lost cause, but I think since Bria walked out the damn villa, they decided to take him on as their project.
Well, even Courtney though was in that conversation. They're like, the math ain't mathing.
Yeah.
And I think that they're also noticing it's like he gets all these women and then he dumps them and jumps to the next one, kind of like what Kanisha was saying. And so they just don't know what he's gonna do. And is he trying to stay in the villa? Like, what is he trying to do?
I don't know.
So we have the nighttime, and I was really happy that Sydney did not go and sleep with Isaiah outside. I was like, good girl. Like, don't so quickly go in and sleep with him. I think that's great. Like, still make him work for it a little bit. And Phoebe, though, I don't know if it was in the morning or at night, but when they're in the change room, Phoebe's like, tells them that she kissed Chaz and like that she's into him. I'm just like, how could you even say that out loud in front of your best friend who's been kind of seeing Chaz like this whole time, and Sydney, who you basically interfered and broke up a relationship with Isaiah, and now you're already talking about somebody else that you are interested in? I'm just like, mm-mm, mm-mm. So, also really funny was when the next day, when Chaz and Timmy were talking, they were role playing the whole situation. And I think that Timmy's trying to be like, you gotta be honest with both of them. Like, cause I don't know what we just were saying. We don't know what Chaz was doing. And I think Timmy doesn't know either. And he's just like,
Yeah. I think, Timmy was like, listen, I'm the older bro. I kind of been through this with your sister. This you can't keep doing this. and like it has to stop. You're gonna
mm-hmm,
screw up a good thing. Like
mm-hmm,
you have to make a choice because you're gonna lose her. And the
mm-hmm.
thing is, Timmy was pretty fortuitous because literally per the edit, we don't know if it was literal, but per the edit at the same time, Bella's over there kissing Joel.
I love that Bella pulls him for a chat and he says, "Can I kiss you?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I didn't get grossed out by the kiss.
No.
There was connection there, in my opinion. But at this time though, we're seeing obviously it's split screen, or not split, they're cutting back and forth. We see Chaz is like he wants to give Bella all of his attention. It's like, too late, bro. Too late, bro. So
I said slightly too late. Too late in the villa.
too late in the villa for sure.
Yes.
Especially right after, like, as soon as you and like as he came down and said that he kissed Phoebe, and Phoebe, I kissed Chaz, like I think she just wrote him off at that point. Like, okay, done. If you were still interested in him, like that would have been the time, or if he was still interested in her, he should have pulled her and been like, listen, we were just like seeing how things go, and like I don't feel the same connection that I did with you. Like he needed to do that right away.
The kiss had nothing in there. He should have said it that moment. Like, I know I fucked up and kissed her, but it's you for me. That's it.
Exactly. Bella tells Shawnee about the kiss, and then we get a text. Hi, Danita. So Danita says, I would have liked to get to know Shawnee a bit more, though. She was hardly shown.
Yeah, I think she was the most robbed out of everybody, to be honest.
By this stupid episode. I mean, the episode was fun, but the ending was stupid, I thought.
Yeah.
So we get a text, and they're going to be playing Snog, Marry, Pie with 90 people in the villa?
I was like, first of all, I'm glad they're calling it correctly, Snog, Marry, Pie, and no longer Kiss, Marry, like, it's Snog.
Yes.
We're going to go with the UK.
Well, Jeff can't say the word Snog.
And then half of it, we didn't see who Jesse snogged.
I wrote them all down, so we'll go through them, and we can be annoyed every time they didn't show us everything, because I'll be like, why?
That means there's too many people in the freaking villa.
Yes. So we do see Courtney's full, or Timmy's full one. I loved that he kissed Courtney. Snogged Courtney, and he's like, Courtney's my girl's best friend. I know that she wouldn't feel a type of way about kissing, or like, and Zita echoed that, being like, he could kiss my girl, like that's totally fine. Like there was not an ounce of jealousy or anything in her voice, and so I love that. I was like, that's real friendship. I would say right there.
Yep, and there was nothing in that kiss, so good.
No. But she kind of seemed like she liked it, but not in any sort of like I want to get with you kind of way. But like she felt like it looked like she enjoyed it for sure.
Well, apparently Timmy's like the best kisser. So
I mean, he looks like he kisses well. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I was chatting with somebody in the comments, being like, "We need to find ourselves a Timmy." He obviously marries baby Z, and he pies Deb for hurting Jesse.
I knew that was coming.
Chad's up next. He snogs Phoebe. I was like, oh. He marries Courtney. Good. And he also pies Deb. I was like, whoop.
And I was like, but you weren't, and even Deb said it. She's like, your ass wasn't even in costume. Like, what?
I think that Deb reacted really well to this, though.
She did.
Like,
she took it really well, because she was like, I told Courtney to bring your ass back. But she took her pies well. Who else? Isaiah also took all his pies well. I was pretty proud of him because we all know that he has a short fuse,
Yeah.
but he did a good job. He knew he deserved those pies and he took them well. Chaz, on the other hand, is an asshole.
We're getting there. So for Jesse, we don't know who he snogs. We only see him marrying Deb. I definitely want to know who he pies. Who did he
And
pie?
who the hell he pied? Who did he pie?
Who would he have pied?
Naja? That's the only person I could think he would pie, because who would deserve a pie from him?
I don't know. And who would he have snogged?
Zeta.
Ew, really?
He snogged her before. And it would mean nothing.
I guess.
I can't think of anybody else that it wouldn't mean anything if he snogged her. So it's either Zeta, Courtney, or Sydney.
Fair. Okay.
Oh, it might have been Sydney.
Sydney, maybe it was like a reciprocal thing.
Yeah. He could have snogged her. Yeah.
So Jeff goes up. We see all of Jeff's. So I'm just like, why do we choose certain people to show all of them? But Jeff, he snogs Kat. Okay, interesting. He marries Naja, no surprise, and he pies Phoebe. Good, because he got Isaiah all screwed up. She did. Mm-hmm. Jared, we didn't see who he snogs. I would like to know that. He marries Kat, no surprise, and he pies Deb. Is that still for Jesse?
Yes. But I mean, to be fair, he actually was in casa with Jess, so that makes sense. I don't know what Chad was
doing. So Chaz, speak of the devil, he snogs Chauncey. He marries Bella.
Right.
And we didn't see who he pies.
Right. I was so confused. I was
Why can't we see who he pies?
I hoped he pied Phoebe, but
he did. I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. Maybe he pied Zeta. Like some of these, I was just like, I wanted to see who they pied.
So Isaiah, we don't know who he snogs. You don't know who he marries. But you know he pies Sydney, right? Did I get that right? Or did he marry Sydney and he didn't pie anybody?
He married
Married Sydney? Oh, and didn't pie anybody. Okay, I just wrote it. I put everything in like charts, but maybe I just wrote it in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to see his whole sequence.
Same.
For sure.
Sure.
So Joel, we see that he snogs Phoebe.
Makes sense.
He marries Bella. Makes sense. And then that's all we saw. And Phoebe and her confession.
I wouldn't make sense. He just walked in the villa.
That's true. But like maybe it would though. Maybe it would be like, oh.
He watched. Okay, yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then Phoebe's like, am I that girl? And in my head, I'm like, yeah. You are.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're that girl. That you're Snake. So Chaz has to teach it. Wait, Chaz with some attitude because Joel decides to kiss Phoebe and marry Bella. Chaz is like, I have to teach Joel how things goes in here.
No, he got mad because Joel outed that they kissed in the afternoon.
Oh, that's true.
He was mad because of that. And the only reason why I know that for sure is
I remember now.
He did say that, and he said it on the podcast. He said it wasn't about that he married her in the thing.
You know what? In the moment, I did remember that. That's what I did take it as, to be honest, but I didn't write that down. So I just was like, oh, what did I mean by this?
Because he's like, I told her about the kiss, and she didn't tell me about her kiss. And I was like,
but like,
I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I don't give a damn. And like, who put like quarter in you to go and like have all this like aggression?
Yeah.
Like, excuse me, like my woman, like get out of here.
Mm.
So on the girls' side of things, Deb is up first, or we see first. Deb. Wait, what am I writing here? Deb, Courtney, and Zeta pies. What?
So, they all pied Isaiah. Maybe you forgot to
write Isaiah. Oh yeah, maybe. I didn't write Isaiah. And there, who hashtag Pizea? So yes, they all pie Isaiah. Chauncey, we only see that she pies Jared. That makes sense.
Which made absolute sense.
Kat, we don't see who she snogs, but she marries Jared and she
Mhm.
pies Chaz. Yeah.
Yep.
Phoebe doesn't fit too much.
And that's where I got mad because instead of Chaz taking his pie, he had a lot of mouth for Kat. Like, it annoyed me. Just take your pie and shut up.
Yeah, especially since you you shouldn't have dumped Serenity for Kat in the first place. And so for the fact that it was very clear to us that she was only using you to get into the villa,
Right.
and now you're upset with her for like pieing you? Come on.
Yeah.
You've been garbage, everybody in the villa so far. Like, come on. So I was annoyed with Phoebe though here, where she like takes Chad and puts him down on the ground to kiss him. Like, why have to be so extra?
It was gross.
It's just so rude. Like, she knows that Courtney has something going on with Chad.
Right.
Like, why do you need to go so extra with this kiss? I agree, Danielle. I think that she does seem to be a little bit desperate here, or like wants to be like everybody's interested in her sexually, and that she can get any guy. / she can't get any so far. She marries Joel. And she pies Isaiah. Makes sense. Nadja, we don't see who she snogs. She marries Jeff, and he's like, "That's my baby." I'm like, "What's going on here, Jeff? What happened?"
I don't know, because on the podcast, apparently Jeff has been telling Chaz that he misses Bria.
Oh.
And so I don't know.
I mean, they're not gonna. Well, do you know what? They might be okay sexually because she's a Scorpio and he is an Aries, and Scorpio is co-ruled by Mars. So they could have that Mars energy that could work well together. It's kind of similar to how traditionally I wouldn't say that Phoebe and Sydney and Isaiah would work well, but they both have Jupiter as their rulers. So I think that allows them to be connected kind of sexually. So
yeah,
maybe it could work.
Yeah. She says she wants to hear from him.
Okay. I mean, I'm okay with that. Nadja also pies Isaiah. Hilarious. Bella snogs Joel, but we didn't see who she married, or he, like, unless I didn't write it down. And she pies Chaz, of course. But why do we see who she marries?
None of this is making sense.
I don't understand. And then Sydney, we don't see who she snogs. She marries Jesse.
Right.
And she talks about inhaling bullshit.
Yes.
You made me look like a clown.
Yep.
But you know what? You really let me down. And pies Isaiah. Like, pie that man. Pie that man. Like, this pie him. I loved it. Thank you, Sydney. Because like, I didn't want her to marry him. I'm happy that she pied him.
Yeah.
And so we have the night portion of the day after all that. I'm still annoyed, though, that we didn't see all of them. Because, like, make it an extra 5 minutes longer, the episode. You're on a streaming platform. It doesn't matter.
True.
Right?
True.
It doesn't actually matter. You could maybe they want to show all of it on
CBits. Yeah, we might get a lot of it on CBits.
Well, I'll write it down, but that's so annoying. So annoying. Danita, though, back to from beforehand, was saying that Sydney seems like the type to always take the guy back. So I think she would have done the same in the real world. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Ooh. Who's Serenity talking about? Hi, Sean. So Sean says Serenity describes them as a toxic couple, and the longer the season goes on, Sydney and Isaiah. Yeah, I mean, we know that they're toxic for sure. But it doesn't mean that that's Phoebe's in to break up that relationship. You know what I mean? Like, they're just experimenting. They're young. Oh, no, I don't like Chaz. I'm a Capricorn. Jessica, I mean, Capricorn and Cancers they're opposites, but they do usually go decently well together. My stepmom and dad are Cancer and Capricorn. Just saying, and they've been together 40 years. So, wait, I knew y'all were going to be excited when Bella talked about their signs. I was so excited, Jessica. So excited. Yes, Phoebe is throwing everything at the wall and trying to see what sticks. I know she's just trying to stay in the villa by any means necessary. But you know what? The best way to stay in this villa is by making a connection. And she seems to be forgetting that part. Seems to be forgetting. It feels like she heard the yearly complaint of guys not telling the girls what actually happened and is trying to overcorrect. Are we talking about Phoebe? Not sure. Not sure. So the night portion, we see Bella talking to Chaz, and she feels like she wants to pursue something with Joel. And I think that he is the right move for sure. He's a little bit older. He's in a sign that matches. They kissed and had some sort of connection. He has a house. He's looking to build a business. Like, that is definitely something that a Cancer is going to love, that he's building a home. Like, it's just so attractive to her, I would say. But then we hear Chaz feels betrayed by Bella. Can you, like, just calm me down here, because I was so irritated. You feel betrayed by Bella?
I'm like, I don't care if she kissed the random guy and forgot to tell you. I just don't. You shouldn't have you kissed her best girlfriend in the villa. That's worse.
Mm-hmm.
You're lucky that's all she did.
Well, and how he got with Bella is also, it's like, I mean, yes, Bella benefited from him deciding to choose her in the end, but he went to the hideaway with another person with the same name. Like, they have different nicknames, but they're both Gabrielas. And like, they came and jumped ship and went to Bella, and then goes to Bella's other best friend, and then like wants to go back to Bella. And Bella's like, hey, bud, like, I've moved on at this point. I've seen how you move so far, and I don't like it. So obviously I rolled my eyes there. We see Kat and Jared in the treehouse. I also don't mind seeing them kiss, so that must mean that there's a connection there. That's my barometer of like, if you have a connection, it doesn't make me sick. And then we see Sarah Hyland shows up, and it's just really funny because people don't want her to wink and do all that stuff. They're just like, walk forward. Like, you doing all this winky and like sexy stuff isn't working for me. And for a lot of people, it's actually quite funny.
Yeah.
So she shows up and she lets us know that the 3 singles are going to be safe and that we had been voting on our favorite couple. So how do you feel about this format? I don't mind the mass dumping personally. Mm-hmm. Get rid of more people if you want. But what about the fact that they didn't do a recoupling before they did a dumping?
They did do a recoupling.
No, but when would, like, Joel just came into the picture, like.
Oh, I mean, but they've done this on the UK where, you know, there's 2 single girls and a single guy, and they because of the way they entered in, they did. So I to me, it was actually fine because I've seen it before.
But the fact that we couldn't get any, so Kat is like not in a couple, like we didn't get to see her maybe pursue Jared. Like, it's like,
I have theories on that. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't think the producers wanted her in the villa.
Really?
I'm gonna tell you the truth because I feel like their relationship was interfered with from the beginning. I seen that they had chemistry from the walked in. She expressed it, he expressed it. I think they were told they could not couple up, and I think they would have preferred to couple up, and they were told they couldn't. And then, so I'm not shocked that I don't know if they thought she would go home, but I was hoping she would go home if he went home, and I'm glad that she did.
That's actually a good precedent, I would say, for future seasons. Yeah. That, like, if you do have a connection with somebody, you should go home. And like, I was kind of hoping that Joel, I know it was too soon, but like, would want to leave with Bella. No, because I did, but it's too soon, absolutely. But like, I would have liked her to get an opportunity to be with him, because obviously we don't want Chaz in the villa. We saw what he did to Bella. The fact that Phoebe ends up being safe because of Isaiah, it's just like, I feel like it was an injustice for Bella personally.
That was fine. She kissed Chaz after the show twice. She's good.
Wait, what?
That was fine.
Kissed Chaz after the show. What do you mean? Sorry.
When they left, Bella kissed Chaz after the show. They're good.
Like they're together?
I don't know if they're together, but they ain't mad at each other.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess like if you're both going to be dumped, then like you might as well
And
pursue your
she's a New
connection at that
Yorker,
point.
he's a New Jerseyan. They're right there,
That's
which is,
true.
I think, part of the reason why they
But
started.
Joel was also in Michigan, I believe, right? So he's not that far.
Michigan is far from us.
Really?
It's
I
very
feel like
far
it's
from us.
because they're all so close to me. I feel like that's so close because you
No,
guys are all like about the same distance from me.
Michigan is maybe 10 to 12 hours away from
Really?
me.
I guess. Well, do you know what? If I drive south to New York, that's like 9 hours, I believe. Detroit is about the same, I guess, maybe a little bit more or less, depending. And then I guess maybe it would be 11 hours.
13 hours. 13 hours. 13 hours and 34 minutes
Wait, I want to know for me now. Hold on. What did you just put to
to New
Detroit?
Jersey.
Okay, hold on. Toronto to Detroit. Drive. 4 hours. Toronto, I think New York is further, actually. That's probably why. New York is 8.5 hours. And New Jersey
Is like another 30 minutes depending where she lives.
9:15.
Yeah,
Okay, so I just thought that like they're all kind of near the border and close to me,
yeah,
but like Detroit is a lot closer to me. Okay,
yeah.
get it. I get it. Um, yeah, so Jessica said the show should have allowed Kat or the Islanders to choose from one of the girls, i.e., Bella, to stay. I know, but they need to dump some people. There's too many couples in that villa.
Yeah.
Too many couples.
Yeah.
So Jessica says we didn't have long to get invested in Kat and Jared as a couple, but I was smiling when she decided to leave with him. Yes, I was. So the couples that are, or the people that are safe, obviously, are Phoebe, Isaiah, and Kat. And then the safe couples are Zimmy, Jeff, and Nadja. So that's why Nadja is never leaving Jeff. She's safe here. Like, she's like, I'm stuck on you, Jeff. Then Deb and Jesse. And then with the fewest votes was Courtney and Chad, Bella and Chaz, Chauncey and Jared. Is that everybody? And then obviously Courtney and Chad were going to be staying. And so that means that Bella and Chaz and Chauncey and Jared left or we're going to be dumped. And Kat stands up and decides to leave with Jared. And is that when you cried? Or did you cry when Zeta was scared about Courtney?
No, I cried. I told you that I saw the connection with them too, and I actually was typing in my live watch party chat. I said, because I knew it was going to be that 4 couples in the bottom, and I said I hope, because when Sarah was like they will be dumped, I was like, during the commercial I was like, oh, I hope Kat leaves with him, because remember they've been saying that Kat has been shady this entire time. I said, but if they have the connection I think they do, I think she will leave with him, and she should. And when she looked over at, listen, it was just a sequence. She looked over at Naja. She looked,
like,
and she looked over at Naja, and Naja's shaking her head like, don't do it. And she shrugged her shoulders like, I got to. And then she was like, on that note, I think you guys know that means that I'm out of here. And then she ran over to him and she kissed him, and she's like, I found the connection that I needed. And listen, I could have wrote that shit better.
I mean, maybe that's what they were hoping for.
Yes.
Maybe like in their interviews, like maybe they're like, hey, like if this happens, like would you be wanting to stay with him or leave? Like, so maybe they had an idea that if Jared were to go, that she would decide to go with him.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a better outcome than just dumping and then she stays and tries to crack on with someone else. So
I see their connection more than I see Maddie and Andy's, and they've been pushing Maddie and Andy since they left the damn villa.
I didn't do the whole thing because I thought that it was Sarah's reaction that was funny, but I did do a little bit of it. This. Sarah's reaction was too funny.
Sarah's reaction is hilarious.
That's all I did. But I was like, like I was like,
But
come on.
meanwhile, like a couple of sentences before that, she's like, "Yeah, I've been watching." I'm like, "So if you were watching, why are you shocked?"
So extra.
Oh my god.
So Joel, yes, it's from Boston. So that's also
Okay,
closer.
that's 4, 5. No, sorry, maybe 5 or 6 hours from me. Listen, Chaz and Bria live very close to me, like 10 minutes from me.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, so if Bella's in New York, she's hella close. We're right over the bridge. So, um, Massachusetts is not as close.
Yeah, for me it's 9 hours.
Yeah.
Far. Hi, Miss St. Pete. That's why he called himself a masshole. I didn't hear him say that, but I don't know. Also, American city slangs,
Nice. Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for the episode. Jess, you're never late. You're always here, right on time. Thank you for being here. I agree. Yes, Joel, like maybe Isaiah should have pied himself. That would have been unique. Maybe that did happen, and we'll see it in the unseen bits. Because like I don't know. Well, we'll go over Isaiah pieing anybody,
any girl,
right?
Yeah. All right, Phoebe.
Hi, Fifi. So if Phoebe would have been patient with Isaiah, she probably could have swayed him. She didn't play that well at all.
Would he have pied Phoebe? Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Phoebe was the number one girl in Casa Amor, and now nobody wants her. It's crazy.
It's the energy she's bringing. It's coming
so
off
pushy.
Desperate and
it's pushy and annoying and like
yeah.
It's relax. Anybody else here? Yeah, so anything else that happened from the episode that you want to talk about?
Not really.
It's agreed, Miss St. Pete. Lulls. If people that do have connection go home, then how do we have a winner? Well, when they want it to be Deb and Jesse, they have their winners still in the villa. So
yeah,
right now
it's basically a run for the people who were basically saved
together from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't see any of them really moving unless someone screws up big. And again, it kind of comes down to unless somebody comes in the villa that they can literally see themselves. And even at this point where we got to the finale, just stay in the couple that you're in and break up with them and go out with that person afterwards. If you're smart, those top 3 couples aren't moving. And I'm going to tell you, if you are a Zimmy fan, get yourself 2 phone numbers and 2 devices and do what I'm going to do and vote. Because I will tell you, those Facebook moms and like women love Deb and Jess. They see themselves in her, and even Isaiah and Sydney might split their vote a little bit, but because they've been so up and down, if they don't like right themselves a little bit, it's really going to be a runaway for Deb and Jess and Zimmy. And do not split the vote. If you want Zimmy to win, just vote for them. Don't vote for nobody else. I'm sorry. Don't give Jeff and Naja a pity vote because I don't care where they land. I don't care if they come in 4th. I don't care if they come in 3rd. They should not win. The couple that should be the winners is Zeta and Timmy. Period.
I was talking to my friend today who I haven't talked about this season yet, and she's like, there's people that don't think that Zimmy should be the obvious winner. Yeah. And I was like, I know. She's like, what's wrong with people? Like, they obviously are the winner of the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how they're gonna have I mean, obviously Zimmy is our favored, but I don't like how they're dumping connections. We've been saying this all along, that like, why you're losing storylines. Like, I don't care about people trying to kiss people. Like, I like seeing connections.
Yeah, personally. I mean, but they're not even showing popular people's connections. Like, we see nothing of Courtney and Chad, and then people wonder why they're in the bottom. We see
Mm-hmm.
nothing of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they have a connection or not. We see nothing.
Well, I did learn that Chad is a Cancer.
Mhm.
So this will be similar to Bryce.
Mhm.
So I don't know how long this will last. We do see in
Mhm.
the preview for the next episode that Courtney's starting to feel a little bit insecure. And so she didn't even really give him an ultimatum, but like he's taking it as an ultimatum.
Mhm.
She just basically said, like, if you're interested in pursuing her, just like don't bother pursuing me anymore. Like, be clear. Tell me about that. Is that really an ultimatum?
In the villa, it kind of could be
I'd be like,
misconstrued.
well, just leave me alone. Like, I like if you want somebody else, like let me be.
Mhm.
I feel like, anyways, but he's also very young, 23. So Sean is excited for Mackenzie to come in. How are you feeling about Mackenzie's re-entry into the villa? She was on season 2.
She would not have been my pick to come in.
Mm-hmm.
I There's about 40 girls, not 40, but there's about 5 girls I could name I would have picked over her. I would have picked Cher over her.
Cher was just on X on the Beach, so she's already done her old stints, you know what I mean? Or maybe she's not allowed to do things other than MTV right now. I don't know. Anyways, but
Yeah, I
she was
would
just
have
on MTV.
I would have picked Kira and hope that she actually goes for Courtney. I would
Kira, I'm sorry, I'm like Kira. For me, she's oversaturated, and I don't care for her on the challenge. So
I like Kira in general, so it
it's
don't matter.
okay.
Um
She'd be good though because she's a water sign, and there's a
mhm.
lot more water people that connect with water signs in the villa. Mm-hmm.
I would have picked Caro over her. I know a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people don't necessarily like her, but I liked Caro.
I like her more now than her
Yeah.
season.
Let's see. I would have picked Sally over her. Um, there's just like, yeah. And I know I just basically named about 5 people of color, so maybe that's the issue. Um,
Yeah. She's a little bland sauce. She also like she's probably gonna go for Joel, I would think, but like I don't see her breaking up anybody else. It seems like people are really excited to be here.
people
And
naming
so
Jesse.
yeah, Jesse was very excited, and I think yeah, exactly because Jesse likes blondes. That's why I think Deb we see in the preview, she's like, "Oh my god, why me?" or whatever she said, and it's because Jesse likes blondes.
Yeah,
She's also super petite. She also has big boobs, big
yeah.
lips. Like she
And they're
definitely.
about the same age. She's 26, she's 25.
Mhm.
If he's moving to California, Mackenzie lives in California
She
as
moved to
well.
California.
No, Jesse is supposed to be moving to California. Oh, did Mackenzie? Yeah, she moved a while ago.
I thought she was still in wherever she's from.
Arizona? No,
Mm,
no, she moved to LA a long time ago. Like
okay. Oh, that makes. Wait, no, it
when
doesn't
she
make
started her
sense.
podcast
Well,
about
the reason why it doesn't make sense is because she was on Summer House, and Summer House is in New York. But maybe she was coming from. I don't know. I have to go back and look why she
but
was in New
I
York.
mean that was just she was probably just recording there, but she
No, but
moved
like
from
she was dating somebody on the show,
uh
so I don't even know
yeah,
how she would get in.
I didn't even know she was dating that guy. She moved to LA, God, like maybe 6 or 7 months ago when she started her pod. So
So
it was after season 3. It was definitely after season 3.
maybe she lived in New York for a bit, like 6 months or something.
Hmm.
Or yeah, maybe yeah, I don't know because like Summer House is about the Hamptons. So like if she's dating somebody and they're going on dates at like restaurants and stuff like that, like she had to have been living there at least for a little bit. Like how would you have met unless it's like through your management? So do we think that Mackenzie's going to shake up any couple? No, I don't think that he's going to switch it up, Jess. I don't
If
think
he's
so.
smart, he would not. He wouldn't even
Just
entertain her.
exactly. Charlene is agreeing with you already, saying like Jesse would be stupid to switch at this point after he did his speech. I mean, Timmy's.
It would be
Okay,
done.
so what do we think about the chemistry between Deb and Jesse? I don't see it.
Still not there.
She like says because when they were safe, they kissed, and Deb said, I believe, like, see, we're kissing more, or something like that, and that's when Sarah was like, yeah, I've been watching. I don't like seeing them kiss. It makes me uncomfortable. So I don't think there's connection, but Facebook moms do. if Simi were white, they would have a chance to win, but I digress.
I mean, they
They still
still
have a
have a
chance.
chance to win. It's USA. It is not um UK.
UK.
That being said, what I'm going to tell you is what I would tell anybody. Do not vote for, if you want them to win, do not vote for any other couple. Don't give a pity vote. Don't be like, oh, but I want to make sure that they get in second place over. I don't give a damn. Make sure that you vote just for Timmy and Zeta. Period.
So CJ says, can you imagine the public's reaction if Timmy treated Zeta the way Jesse has treated Deb with no affection whatsoever?
Oh,
I
they were
mean,
just saying that he's just with her to win. I
yeah,
mean, they still
they already
say
say that.
that. They're saying it already.
Okay, Joel says Zimmy is interesting. You have a brilliantly smart British, well-spoken person matched with a guy who speaks in weird urban poetry. They're both Geminis, Joel, and so she's intrigued, I think, by just like he communicates with her. I don't mind his urban poetry. It becomes endearing. Like you see that she loves how he says like baby Zeta and a two-seater. She's into that. She finds it endearing. He calls her baby Z, and he's like, that's what my mom calls it. So I think that she finds his urban poetry endearing for the most part. I'm from New York, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I don't. It doesn't bother me. I know it bothers you more than it bothers me for sure. Zimmy's dad jokes
I
and
never. I mean, his dad jokes suck, but I like. I can understand why she likes them. They
yeah,
just would not get me.
it would make me laugh and be like, oh my god, you're so silly. Like I'd be charmed by them for sure. Joel, what's your sign? That would be curious. I definitely would say not an air sign. That would be my guess, but I don't know. Oh my, I didn't like seeing them kiss either. Yeah, Tasha. Mm-mm. Alone on that? Not here. I do not enjoy watching them kiss at all. Um, I think Zimmy, I think yeah, they do balance each other. I think that she's more kind of calm and chill, and I don't know, they just work for me. They work. I like them. Yes, I think I figured out what you're trying to say. Isn't Zeta's British accent more working class? I think that they work at well. I don't think so. I think she has a very London accent.
She's a model,
Virgo.
so even if she was more working class, she's been a model for a very long time now.
But I think she has a London accent, and London. I wouldn't say London is a working class. Like it's not Cockney. It's not like
She's born in
Manchester.
Surrey. That
Sorry, that's
is
just outside of London, right?
country. Yeah, it's just country. So yeah, no, it's posh.
So Joel's is a Virgo. Now, maybe why you don't appreciate Zimmy's ness or Timmy's ness is because you guys are both ruled by Mercury, and so Virgo tends to be over analytical, over critical, while Gemini's expresses Mercury, the planet of communication, through fast communication and like kind of like a bee buzzing around and very social. So you guys express things very differently, and so you probably just don't see eye to eye in how to communicate. So interesting. Well, that's pretty much it, everybody. So we're gonna go on tonight again, late night. We're gonna have a late night pod after I do my recap for the Challenge USA. I will watch the episode and then we will go live probably around 11:45 or midnight. We'll do a midnight pod for tonight's episode, and then tomorrow we will go live right after the episode, and that will be Tamika's last pod before she goes on a little bit of a vacay, but then she will be back for the final few days of the season.
Yes, I'll be back for final week, so hopefully I won't miss dates. I think
Well,
hopefully
you might miss the heart rate challenge if they do it this
yeah,
season.
which I'm okay. I'll watch that back, but like right now I don't really care to see any, like I don't want to see. I know a lot of people can't wait for Jeff's reaction. I don't care. So I just want to see Timmy and Zeta. I really don't care about anybody else, to be honest.
Yes, I agree.
So yeah, like yeah, no. And we see Mackenzie's, right? So she's still in the villa.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that Mackenzie's gonna actually break up anybody.
No, but she might go for Joel.
She might go for Joel.
I think they dumped Bella to save him for Mackenzie, to be honest. She's like, I mean, literally, she dated two guys that look just like him.
Yeah, let me just show you guys quickly. So we all remember Connor, who she dated from her season. So this is Connor. Right?
Yep.
Looks exactly like Joel.
Yep.
And then she dated Carl from Summer House. Looks exactly like Joel.
And
And then
done.
I'll show you Joel's picture. Looks exactly like both of them. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're trying to do. So, it's going to be easy for her, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going to say? Hold on. Jessica says also the Love Island USA Twitter page changed their page saying your tweets may be used, so we may get a Twitter challenge.
Yeah.
Fingers
Yes,
crossed.
there's a specific tweet that they made yesterday that said, if you had something to say to the Islanders, what would you say? And so, yeah, yes, I was excited yesterday because that means we are getting tweet challenge.
Oh boy.
I'm excited.
Oh boy, because it's going to be right after Sydney and Isaiah get back together. There's going to be tons about people saying that she shouldn't get back together with him.
Yeah, as
Oy,
long as they don't, bury
be
and come up with tweets that never happened. I don't care.
seriously, seriously, just use the real ones. Don't fake it.
Yeah.
So that's everything today. Thank you, everybody in the chat. You guys are great as usual. Thank you, Tamika. Please make sure you subscribe to both of our channels if you haven't done so already. Ooh, I wonder who they will give the mean tweets to. Yeah, the mean tweet's going to go to Sydney and Isaiah, I think. You're welcome, Joel. And so please like this video. Please also leave for us. Yeah, that's a good question. Who do you think that they're going to give the mean tweets to? Do you think that they're going to give it to Sydney and Isaiah, like I'm thinking, or do you think that they'll try to mar Zimmy's relationship? Like, how do you think that they're going to play the tweet challenge? So let us know, and we will see you again later on tonight at midnight, where we have a late night recap of tonight's episode. And Tamika, you're going to be going live at 9 for your watch party?
Yes, I am.
Great. Awesome. Well, we'll see everybody later. Bye.
Bye.